This video will cover topics from the quantitative reasoning items in the TSIA math. Take a moment to look at these vocabulary words. If you're not familiar with each of these words, look them up. For the quantitative reasoning types of questions on the TSIA math, those are questions that are mainly from the elementary level of math, and also identifying various symbols and vocabulary words. Here's some symbols that might show up. This is the plus sign, minus. Either one of these could be multiplications, times. We have divided by, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Equal sign is not equal to, the square root of, and then absolute value of. You might be given a number and you need to classify what type of number it is. For example, if it says what would be 1/2, it is a real number, but a more descriptive way of saying it would be a rational number. It would not be an integer, it would not be a natural number. All natural numbers are integers, all integers are rational numbers, and all rational numbers are real. Irrational numbers are also real. Those are ones that you can't express as a fraction of two integers, such as the square root of 2 or pi. And if you have an expression with an I in it, that would be an imaginary number. Take a moment and find more numbers that would be examples for each of these classifications. Here are the algebraic properties that may show up. For the associative property, you just change where the parentheses are. So you change the location of the parentheses. Notice on this side of the equation, it's around the a plus the b, but on the other side, it's on the b plus c part. Commutative, you change the order of the terms. So instead of a plus b, we now have b plus a. Instead of a times b, we have b times a. Distributive property, you multiply each term. So it'd be a times b and a times c. This one involves both adding and multiplying. The identity would be a plus 0 would be still a, and then a times 1 is still a. Basically, you do an operator and you get the same number that you started with. For inverse, it's where you cancel them out. A plus negative a would give you 0. A divided by a would be 1. You'd also just multiply by reciprocals to get those to cancel out and give you 1. Canceling out for additive gives you 0. Canceling out for multiplicative gives you 1. Involution, a negative times a negative is a positive. Reflexive, you just have something equals itself. Substitution, if a is given is equal to b, then that means that b can replace whoever that is. You can use that for solving systems or evaluating. Symmetric, if a equals b, then b equals a. You just swap the two sides of the equation. Now for symmetric, if a is greater than b, then b is less than a. Notice when you have a symmetric, it's an inequality, you also have to switch the sign of the inequality symbol. Transitive, if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Is basically just say that all three of those are equal to each other. And zero property, A times 0 equals 0. So if we have something times 0, it's going to equal 0. Here's the properties of equality. If A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. You add C to both sides. If A equals B, then A minus C equals A minus C. There should be a B right here. It's just saying subtract C to each side. If A equals B, then A times C equals B times C. That's multiply C each side. And if A equals B, then A divided by C equals B divided by C, as long as C does not equal 0. So let's divide C each side. These are just the 4 basic inverse operations to solve a linear equation. Addition and subtraction of fractions. To add or subtract fractions, they must have the same denominator. If they don't, they must be rewritten so that they do. This is done by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by an integer chosen to make denominators match. The matching denominator is the least common multiple of the two denominators. For example, add 3/4 and 2/3. You want to find the least common multiple of 4 and 3. 4, 8, 12, 16, 3, 6, 9, 12. The number that they both have here is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. And 3 times 4 equals 12. So for 3/4, we're going to multiply each of those by 3, as shown right here. And then we get 9/12. And then we're going to multiply 2/3 by 4/4, as shown right here. Then we get 8/12. Now that we have the same denominator, we can add them. We only add the top part. And you keep the denominator as 12. We have 17/12, which is the same thing as 1 and 5/12. To find this, we use long division. 12 goes into 17 one time. Subtract, you get a remainder of 5. So that remainder is what is in the numerator on your mixed number. Your denominator is just the 12 that you had originally, your divisor. Try this. When subtracting 3/4 and 1/16, what is the least common denominator? What is the difference? Write the following. Fill in these blanks. Pause the video, see if you can answer this. The answer is 11/16. When subtracting 3/4 and 1/16, the least common denominator, also known as the least common multiple, is 16. We could get this by multiplying the first fraction by the unity fraction 4 over 4, and multiplying the second fraction by the unity fraction 1 over 1. Now we have 12 over 16 minus 1 over 16, which evaluates to 11 over 16, which does not reduce any further. Continue going through the slides, look at more worked out problems in these videos, and then go on to the next section.